Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Kristen and today I'm sharing some Kirkland's dupes. Now I have not done one of these videos in a very long time, honestly a few years. So I was pretty excited to come up with some inexpensive DIYs that look like something you'd pick up at Kirkland's. So let's get into the video. First DIY was inspired by this book stack. The original price is $20 at Kirkland's. I picked up 3 books and some burlap from Dollar Tree, and I got to starting by just taking the covers off of the books and painting all of them with the Waverly chalk paint in the color white because I wanted to cover up the color since I knew that burlap, it would show right through. So no color, paint it all white. So I did just cut down the burlap to size. I ended up using that white color. I thought it was a lot prettier than just the regular burlap. And I know this doesn't match up per se on the Kirkland site. I kind of wanted like 3 different sizes of books, and I liked this burlap just a little bit better than the other burlap, but you can do whatever you choose. And I did end up going in with a glue stick here. It did not work the best, but I was running out of Mod Podge, so just trust the process a little bit. I do need to grab more Mod Podge. I didn't realize how low I was, but I don't live next door to a store to just run and grab that stuff. So we just used what we had at the time. So I used a glue stick to lay this burlap down, and it did do its job for the most part, but then I did end up adding a layer of Mod Podge over the top of this to secure it a little bit better. And in the end, you'll see I missed like a tiny little corner, but no big deal. I just kind of tucked it under the book stack, and it looks just fine. You could also use, maybe I'll just end up using like some regular glue and like some water. I think it's pretty similar to Mod Podge. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you use just regular Elmer's glue and some water. Did that work? I feel like it would for sure. But this is me just adding some Mod Podge around the books, and you can see that glue right there, but it does end up drying clear, so no big deal there. And yeah, I was like pounding every last piece of or little speck of Mod Podge I had in that little container there. So I did use my Cricut, and this is just Cricut Sans, and I just wanted to at least copy the sayings on the Kirkland's books. This was very time consuming because if you guys haven't tried, vinyl is very tough to peel off onto a burlap. It barely stays, but for somehow in a little bit of patience, I was able to kind of just pull off the vinyl or like the transfer tape, and they end up staying. It looks really good. I think these turned out so cute. And then I just like these to decorate with. I plan on adding like some pumpkins and florals around here. I think they will look really cute on my hutch for fall.
Small, watch the clock ticking off the wall, but tonight I'm letting it go.
This one right here, the regular price is $20, so they're not the most expensive things you can find on Kirkland's website, but I thought they would be pretty simple to recreate with good old Dollar Tree items. So right here, I'm just cutting off the tops of these, and I really just did this to get those little holes out of there because I didn't want holes in every single DIY I did. Yes, you can use spackle, but if you're going to be staining, it's probably not going to work. And now it's just kind of like measuring out, figuring out what I was going to use for the sides. And when you are cutting your wood down, you want to make sure that the side pieces are the exact same size as the wood that you're using as far as the bottom. So you want everything to be pretty much the same size. Yeah, you want it to be the same size. I cut these too short, had to go back and redo it because I realized that the bottom of my box was way too big. So keep that in mind. I am using this English navy color. This is by Apple Barrel. This is not the most navy of navy colors I've ever used, but once it dries, it looks okay. I prefer that Dixie Belle in the navy. It is like a mineral chalk paint. It is one of my favorite colors because it really is like a true navy color. I could probably added some black in here, but I was running out of this color as well. Been really trying to use up paints things like that, because a lot of my paints will start to dry up or they just aren't so good after a while. I can add like a little bit of water to them, but still they're just not the same. So I'm really just trying to use a lot of items that I already have on hand for a lot of these videos. So I did pick up a ton of fall stuff you guys probably saw in some Dollar Tree haul videos, but some of the other items I did just want to kind of dig through my stash to see what I had on hand. These leather tags that I'm using here, I'm using the Thankful one, since on the box from Kirkland's it did say Thankful, and this was about as close as to what I had as far as leather. And I love picking up things after the holidays or seasons because it is so much cheaper. So I did pick these up at Hobby Lobby last year along with a lot more items, and it is just, you save so much more money doing it that way. So once this is done, I decided to put this box together. Now I did use Jenga blocks on almost every side of the wood. I did paint the fronts and the backs, so don't get that confused. I just wanted everything to be painted, except the bottom of this box is not painted because I ran out of paint at the very, very end. But I wanted to use these Jenga blocks to kind of hold the other wood pieces in place, and it really does its job. Now, I would have probably used wood glue along with hot glue. I just decided to use hot glue for this just to kind of get the video rolling just a little bit and show you guys how to put an entire little box together. But I think wood glue would make everything adhere just a little bit nicer. More nice. I think it would look better for sure. But overall, I think this one turned out really cute, and this didn't even take an entire day to make. This actually took probably a solid hour as far as like cutting, waiting for the paint to dry, and then adding it all together. But I think this is adorable, and this cost... How much did this cost? I used 4 wood pieces, Jenga blocks I had on hand, and other things I had on hand. So it was about $5 to recreate this entire thing, give or take the items that you already have on hand.
Going for show. I'm gonna be myself, or I could be someone else. No one's stopping me now. I'm gonna skip my breaks. I'm gonna make mistakes. I just wanna feel alive. It's just what I do when I'm out.
The next one is this Hello Fall wreath pumpkin decoration. As soon as I seen this, I was like, this, you got to be kidding me. It's like almost $30 original price. I decided to go with this Dollar Tree pumpkin in one of their Dollar Tree wood pieces. Now, I know mine's going to have a hole in the top. It just is just kind of what's going to happen here. I decided to use the Truffle Waverly chalk paint and a little bit of water to make my own stain. Where I'm at right now, it is hot, and I am not going to go outside and stain and wait for that stuff to dry. You can also just pick up a pumpkin from Hobby Lobby. I recently did a DIY video using one. It already had the stand, it had the pumpkin, no hole at the top, and I want to say it was under $5, which you could recreate this as well using a Hobby Lobby wooden pumpkin. And I'll link that video in the description box so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. But here I'm just making a faux stain, and then I decided to paint that pumpkin, and then now I am going on to that wood piece for the bottom side. And then of course we had to paint it the same color, and then I am going to be also painting 2 Jenga blocks because that is going to hold the pumpkin up onto this wood piece. I am going to be using my Cricut for this DIY. It is so much easier, and I did find my SVG on Creative Fabrica. I'll link them down below for you guys, but I love their site. I pick up all of my SVGs off of here, and it's very inexpensive. It's actually cheaper than the Cricut Design Space. But now I'm using my Cricut Maker 3 to cut this out, and I am just using my Smart Vinyl in the color white. And this took no time at all to put together. I am running out of transfer tape as well, so you're going to see I kind of pieced some of that transfer tape together. We were just kind of piecing a lot of things together in this video. We were kind of just, like I said, using what I had on hand. I am just weeding this, and this didn't take long at all either.
So try not to hold me down, feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at those beautiful stars.
And also, before I do anything with Cricut, I always do make sure I measure my surface before I cut anything out, just to make sure it will fit. And this actually fit more than perfect. I couldn't have been happier with how large this was. It was a little bit bigger than the one on the Kirkland site, but like I said, it was really more for some good, solid inspiration here. And I think for under $3, this turned out so cute. So I don't use these Jenga blocks too often, but when I do, it is usually just to be able to stand signs up with Dollar Tree. I normally don't even show that part, but I just always use a Jenga block, kind of figure out where I need it to go, use some hot glue, and then I just glued all this together with hot glue, and it was good to go. Stood and everything. It looks so, like I said, this looks really cute. I was impressed, and I didn't have to pay $20 or $30 for this piece. As soon as I saw this one on Kirkland's, I automatically thought of the wooden pallets from the Dollar Tree, and I already had one on hand, so I didn't have to pick one up. I'm using another one of those wood chunky long pieces from Dollar Tree, and I did cut this one down just a little bit to make sure that that pallet would actually fit on here. So I'm using that same like truffle stain that I used for the last pumpkin, and of course we're adding some Jenga blocks, so I will be able to hold that wood pallet onto the top of this picture frame. And I thought this was honestly the most simple picture frame I think I've ever made. This took like a few minutes to put together, and it was good to go. So you do have to make sure that you hold it down just a little bit to make sure that hot glue dries. For the clip part of the picture frame, I just decided to use one of these tiny clothespins. It's what I had on hand, and I didn't want to pick up anything sort of metal. It all does the job the same. Now, I didn't really have a ton of leaves as far as wood goes, and I just decided to use this. I had like one lonely chalkboard leaf, and granted, yes, it has a hole in it, but I did end up covering that. So, I mean, there's times where we just get a little bit lazy crafting. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like sometimes I do, but if I can like cover up a hole with a bow, I'm 100% going to do that. I just used my Cricut and just cut out this Hello Fall, so it looks similar to the one in the photo. And then, like I said, I just added a little bow to that circle or that little hole in the leaf, and then I glued it to the frame. And then once the frame was done, just add your picture right to that clip, and it is good to go. This was from last year, fall, and I cannot wait until it is fall again. Like, fall just gives me all the good vibes for sure. It has been way too hot or way too rainy. I'm ready for some fall. So this one right here, super simple to put together. I did mine just a little bit different here. So I'm using these pumpkins from Hobby Lobby. They were only $1.19 for a pack of them, and I really like these because they're not ornaments, they're actually just little wood pieces. This welcome sign came from Dollar Tree, and I didn't have any more of those wooden stands, so I'm going to use something a little bit different here. Now I'm going to use that pumpkin as an O, so I'm using my tin snips to cut out that O so I can glue that pumpkin to the center of the C and the M. And this is what's going to end up looking like. I was just trying to figure everything out here to make sure it was going to work. And I decided to use another one of these little wood boards, and these are what I used to create that navy colored box that you saw in the beginning of the video. I had one left, and I was like, I don't really know how I would make this stand up, because I really didn't have like any wood pieces, and the only thing that I would have been able to connect it to was the L. So let me know if you guys would have done the same. So would you have done this, or would you have figured out a different way or a different route to go like the one in the photo? And I'm just painting the rest of the pumpkin. I did end up using a acrylic marker and did not like those lines. So you're going to see in a second, I did end up repainting that pumpkin. And I just kind of dry brushed the lines a little bit with some chalk paint. And then, of course, I'm going to be using about 5 of these Jenga blocks to attach to the bottom of this welcome sign so I can stand it up. But you guys, that is it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure you give this video a thumbs up. And if you are new to my channel, consider sticking around and subscribing. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye!
Drive a faster car. Lay my troubles